The life of Seneca. Seneca the Younger was an important Roman writer in Latin, with influences lasting throughout the Middle Ages, Renaissance, and beyond. His themes and philosophy should even appeal to us today, and he is even believed to have influenced Shakespeare's tragedies, though some question whether the man was as principled as his philosophy. Seneca the Elder was a rhetorician from an equestrian family in Cordoba, Spain, where his son, Lucius Annaeus Seneca, was born in about 4 BC. As a young boy, he was educated in Rome, where he studied philosophy that blended Stoicism with Neo-Pythagoreanism. Seneca began his career in law and politics around AD 31, serving as consul in AD 57. In Rome, though, he fell afoul of the Emperor Caligula, and he and Caligula's sister suffered exile under Claudius on the charge of adultery. They were then sent to Corsica for punishment. Eventually helped by Claudius's last wife, Agrippina the Younger, he survived exile to serve as advisor to the last Julio Claudians from 54 to 62 AD. Virtue, reason, and the good life. Seneca's philosophy is best known for his letters to his friend Lucilius. In accordance with the philosophy of the Stoics, virtue, virtus, and reason are the basis of a good life, and a good life should be lived simply in accordance with nature, which incidentally doesn't mean that you should eschew wealth. But whereas the philosophical treatises of an Epictetus might inspire you to lofty goals you know you will never reach, Seneca's philosophy is much more practical. Seneca's philosophy is not truly Stoic, but contains ideas thrown in from other philosophies. He even coaxes and sometimes cajoles, as in the case of his advice to his mother to soothe her grieving. "You are beautiful," he says, with an age-defying appeal that needs no makeup. "So stop acting like the worst kind of vain woman. Your only ornament, the kind of beauty that time does not tarnish, is the great honor of modesty. So you cannot use your sex to justify your sorrow, when with your virtue you have transcended it. Keep as far away from women's tears as from their faults." Seneca to his mother, Corsica, 49 AD. Another famous example of his practical philosophy comes from a line in the play Hercules Furens, and resounds with meaning for today. Success in fortunate crime is called virtue. He did receive much criticism in his own time. He suffered exile for his supposed liaison with Livilla, mockery for his pursuit of wealth, and the scorn as a hypocrite for condemning tyranny, yet being tyranno didaskalos, the tyrant's teacher. Seneca's social consciousness. Because Seneca compared man's being enslaved by emotions and vices with physical slavery, many have thought he held a forward-looking view on the oppressive institution of slavery, even though his attitudes towards women was less than enlightened. Although currently doubted, it was once thought that Seneca was in correspondence with St. Paul. Because of this correspondence, Seneca was acceptable to the leaders of the early Christian church. Dante even placed him in limbo in his Divine Comedy. Having survived the Middle Ages, a period that saw the loss of many classical writings, Seneca continued to fare well, According to author Brian Arkin, for the dramaticists of the Renaissance in France, Italy, and in England, classical tragedy meant the 10 plays of Seneca, not Aeschylus, Sophocles, or Euripides. In conclusion, not only was Seneca suited to Shakespeare and other Renaissance writers, but what he reflects is the human condition even today. Thank you and farewell.